Good morning, each one of you, and welcome back to my class. Children, in my previous video, we started with our first section of the lesson, An Uncomfortable Bed by Guy de Maupassant. Now, today I'm going to explain you the second section of this lesson. So, let us start with section 2. Now we see the narrator arrives at a chateau where his friends are waiting for him and gives him a princely reception. Now from there on, the narrator is suspicious that his friends are going to play a practical joke on him. Then he went to his room, being suspicious of each and everything inside the room. But then he could not find anything. After searching the entire room, he decides to go to sleep. But then he looks at the back bed and he thinks that, it is suspicious looking. Still, he checks all the curtains and the bed and then decides to do something. All the same, there was danger, he thought. He was going to perhaps receive a cold shower from overhead, or perhaps the moment he stretched himself out, would find himself sinking to the floor with the mattress. He searched in his memory for all the practical jokes he had experienced and did not want to be caught. Certainly not. Then suddenly he thought of a precaution which he considered ensured safety. He caught hold of the side of the mattress gingerly and very slowly drew it towards him. It came away, followed by the sheet and the rest of the bedclothes. He dragged all these objects into the very middle of the room, facing the entrance door. He made his bed over again, as best as he could at some distance from the suspected bedstead and the corner which had filled him with such anxiety. Then he extinguished all the candles, and then groping his way, he slipped under the bedclothes. For at least another hour he remained awake, starting at the slightest sound. Everything seemed quiet in the chateau, and therefore he fell asleep. He must have been in a deep sleep for a long time, but all of a sudden he was awakened with a start by the fall of a heavy body tumbling right on top of him. And at the same time he received on his face, on his neck, and on his chest a burning liquid which made him utter a howl of pain. And a dreadful noise, as if a sideboard laden with plates and dishes had fallen down, almost deafened him. He was smothering beneath the weight that was crushing him and preventing him from moving. He stretched out his hand to find out what the nature of this object was. He felt a face, a nose, and whiskers. Then, with all his strength, he launched out a blow at the face. But immediately he received a hail of cuffings, which made him jump straight out of the soaked sheets and rush in his nightshirt into the corridor, the door of which he found open. Oh heavens, he thought, it was broad daylight. The noise brought his friends hurrying into his apartment, and they found, sprawled over his improvised bed, the dismayed Wale, who, while bringing his morning cup of tea, had tripped over this obstacle in the middle of the floor and fallen on his stomach, spilling the breakfast over the narrator's face in spite of himself. The precautions that the narrator had taken in closing the shutters and going to sleep in the middle of the room had only brought about the practical joke that he had been trying to avoid. And then it gave a chance to his friends to laugh at him the whole day long. So all the precautions that the narrator was taking, so that he is not a victim of any practical joke, he actually became one by being so foolish. He actually became one by pulling away the bed from the bedstead and sleeping on the floor in the middle of the room. The valet, who was unaware that the narrator is sleeping on the floor, tripped over him, having the tray in his hand and spilling out each and everything that was on that tray. And therefore, the narrator actually fooled himself and became a matter of joke for his friends the whole day long. So we see, children, all the things that the narrator was trying to avoid actually came onto him. And he actually was the victim of a practical joke, which he created on his own. So this is the end of the story, an uncomfortable bit. Now I'll see you with another video with another topic. Till then, enjoy reading the story and take care of yourself. Thank you and good day.